Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show for this RAW RING REPORT this morning. Talking about a lot from the aftermath from Raw last night. The World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins will kick off Raw as surviving a grueling last man standing match. Seth Rollins was a last man standing match. What's next for Seth Rollins? I'll tell you what's going to be next for him. You won't believe what the next repercussions for the Seth's wife, NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch, is in action after she was injured last week. She defends her NXT Women's title against the talented Tegan Nox, plus a triple threat match to determine the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title is set between Ricochet, Big Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kid the Dick here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and share. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. What a Pro Wrestling Show we got to you. So we ain't gonna waste no time. As we told you in the beginning of the show, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins kicked off the show here on Raw as an unexpected challenger that comes his way and asks for a match that I kind of knew. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre called out Seth Rollins and wants his shot. He's saying that he's next in line for a world title match. So we're getting it. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, as they will name the date. The date will be November 5th, Crown Jewel in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So we kind of know Drew McIntyre's been going through a lot of changes as the weeks lately. Been not really being himself, but Drew McIntyre wants that shot. But out of nowhere, Damian Priest comes out behind. Damian Priest tries to get the shot, attack it Seth. Damian Priest attacking Seth, thinking that Seth was gonna cash in until Drew made a save. Dominic was gonna give him the briefcase, and then I guess it wasn't gonna go down. Because Seth Rollins, it's been a while for Seth. Seth Rollins is back, his injury. Seth Rollins looking forward to getting himself together because now he has a big test now after moving on from Nakamura. Moves on to Drew McIntyre as Nakamura 2 failed attempts to not win the gold. You know how that's going to go. So now we know that it'll be at Crown Jewel. Seth Rollins set to defend the world title against Drew McIntyre at Crown Jewel. So we're looking forward to seeing that match. Speaking of that, where we know that there's still some issues amongst the Judgment Day, as you see right here, that Drew McIntyre stopped Dominic Mysterio from cashing in that briefcase to help Damian Priest. Damian Priest still has his eyes set on cashing in the briefcase. Damian took his frustrations out on JD Madonna after JD Madonna cost Damian and Finn the tag team titles. Damian Priest a little bit upset, frustrated. Rhea Ripley tried to get him to calm down, have some sense. Hey, this is not going to be the moment, but you'll get your moment when the time is right. So we'll talk about that. And Rhea Ripley had problems later on, but we'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. We're down. Well, they're pushing. Look like the New Day is gonna eat a loss to Valhalla in ER. Valhalla's husband has been out of injury. They're setting up something for a program so you can believe that something's gonna go down later on. I don't know how that's gonna go, but you can tell. how that's gonna be. Speaking of that, another match that everyone's been buzzing about and talking about lately was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, the new tag team champions. They were in the ring celebrating their win after Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens came out there to come out there. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens came out there to talk about they want to be next in line for the tag team titles. We know that the Judgment Day will get their rematch, their automatic rematch next week on Raw. We're looking forward to seeing that rematch this week. So the Judgment Day will get a rematch next week to recapture their tag team titles. But Michael Cole even asked Cody Rhodes, who was in the ring with the new tag team champions, Cody and Jey, is this the story? Is you finishing the story there? He couldn't say, and Mike Cole said they had deep personal conversations about finishing the story. And Cody Rhodes was about to answer the question until he got interrupted by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn about a rematch. So that's why Mike Cole kind of wanted to see if it was over. Now, I don't think before I believe that it's far from over for Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes, this is might be just a small little consolation prize, but I think the top goal for him is to win the WWE title and win it from Roman Reigns, who still is the champion. So Roman, with that in mind. So I think this is far from over. Cody just have the belt for now. But Cody wants to win that story, winning the WWE title. We'll see. But Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, unfound alliance, but they have to put their differences aside. But as you can tell and see what went down and stuff. Like we said, but that's how everything goes and stuff. So how that's going to be going for them sooner rather than later. So we'll see. But late tonight, the tag team champion, the new tag team champions, Cody and Jey, will defend their goal against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn later on tonight. That'll be the main event for Raw eventually. So we'll see that match coming up. And then Jey did have a run in with Drew. Well, what that was all about. They Drew, not forget, like we said, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, former tag team champions, challenging the new tag team champions and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso in the main event tonight on Raw. Well, another thing that went down, Shinsuke Nakamura, since there'll not be no championship aspirations for him, he's going to run it back to Ricochet. Ricochet attacked Shinsuke Nakamura from out of nowhere, and Ricochet wants his revenge on Nakamura one way or another. And Adam Pearce asked Ricochet, "What do you want to do?" And I think we're going to get that match next week on Raw, Nakamura versus Ricochet 1-on-1. So we'll get to see that match coming up too. So Nakamura and Ricochet. And then you see right here, this was interesting to see right here. Drew McIntyre and Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley had a secret meeting. What's that all about? What's that going on? Like we said, it's kind of pointing to what's going on and what's that's going to be about. But we know next week on Raw, Ricochet taking on Nakamura next week on the season premiere of Raw. These two will finally battle it out 1-on-1 after what had happened earlier tonight. Ricochet wants his revenge on Nakamura. I'm surprised why Ricochet didn't cost Nakamura the world title in the beginning. Nakamura now awaiting the presence of Ricochet. We'll see that next week. Speaking of another thing that happened tonight, Big Bronson Reed, the big one, he went against Ricochet and Chad Gable. Bronson Reed attacked both Ricochet and Chad Gable, and now Bronson Reed, the big man, gets a shot at the Intercontinental Championship that happens next week on the season premiere of Raw. Bronson Reed gets a shot for the Intercontinental title. We'll see Big Bronson Reed taking on the Ring General Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Can Big Bronson Reed overthrow Ricochet, Gunther to win his first Intercontinental Championship? It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But we just have to wait and see. But Big Bronson Reed gets the win and gets the Duke over Ricochet. Oh no, over Ricochet and Chad Gable to win his match. So we'll see that match next week. Raw. Well, we told you this that Rhea Ripley is told JD Madonna he need to prove to her that he can be loyal and be fit in the WWE. Well, she set up a match against told Pierce to set up a match against him against Drew McIntyre. Well, we saw the match, how that went down. Didn't go well for you know what, know who. Drew McIntyre wins his match over JD Madonna. JD Madonna didn't really have a chance. Drew had marked JD, which that was kind of a little bit wrong and stuff. But Drew McIntyre won his match over JD to get the win. So you see how that went down. Also, too, speaking of women's world champion, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley got herself into a crossfires at the tonight. I've been seeing a lot of Rhea Ripley a lot tonight. But Rhea Ripley was trying to get herself ready and get herself together until she had got some challenges away. She interfered in the match between Nia Jax and Raquel Rodriguez. Rhea Ripley made herself noticeable, attacking both Jax and Rodriguez. Shayna Baszler came out of nowhere and attacked Rhea Ripley. Shayna Baszler won a shot at Rhea Ripley. I think she might get a shot at Rhea Ripley. And I think that's going to happen next week on Raw. Rhea Ripley takes on Shayna Baszler one-on-one on Raw. The season premiere, the Women's World Champion will take on Shayna Baszler next week on Raw. And we'll see if who's tough in that match next week. You know, these some tough cookies to beat, especially Rhea Ripley. She's one tough cookie to beat. Also, too, another match that everyone's been buzzing about, everyone's been talking about lately. So like I said, we'll get to see that match next week on Raw. Becky Lynch, the NXT Women's Champion. Becky Lynch was in action. She took on Tegan Nox in a firesome matchup as well. Becky Lynch gonna be part of that big Super Tuesday event coming up tonight. Becky Lynch defended her women's title, NXT Women's title against Tegan Nox, and showed gratitude and respect to Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox showed the same as well. But at the end, Becky won. But Becky kept on wanting to have more challenges. Becky, she's like the traveling champion. Becky Lynch gonna defend her title against I forgot her name, Zia something, something. Forgot her name, but Becky's gonna defend her belt against her next week. You know, Becky Lynch wants to be a fighting champion. Go do all comers next week, and Becky Lynch, good for her. If she wants to fight, she's gonna put that title online against everybody. She's gonna put it against everybody. No questions asked. So Becky Lynch doing her best, but we'll see this match. I forgot her name, but we'll see that next week. Becky Lynch retains her women's championship and defends against Xenia something. I forgot her name, but we'll see that match next week on Raw. Speaking of that, DRI is back. They reunited last week. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa is back. They got reunited. They got attacked from behind from Imperium. They will see Imperium and DUI have a match, a tag team sooner rather than later. We'll see that match coming up soon rather than later. So we'll look for that. Plus, too, speaking of Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch is supposed to have a book. Well, we'll talk about a little bit later on the show. That Becky Lynch's new book, The Man, coming out in 2024. We'll look forward to seeing that. Well, it was main event time. The tag team titles were on the line as Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defend their tag team titles. The new tag team champions set to defend against the former tag team champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, who won the tag team titles at this past WrestleMania. Looking forward to seeing it, and where we were looking forward to seeing it. Um, here are review. Here's highlights of the match itself, right here. Um, Jey Uso being nailed. Oh well, that was real Ripley nailed down. But Jey Uso being taken down as well. But Jey Uso, the main event, Jey Uso, looking forward to getting some revenge, and he did. He did. Jay did take it to what's his name? Jay. And you see right here, main event, Jey Uso getting the crowd rocked right here. Here, tell you right there. Crowd was rocked. The crowd was lit. And you saw right there a lot going on tonight. Um, here are the final moments of the match. I'd say if we can find it right quick. Well, this was the final moments of the match right here. Jay with the splash, hitting on Kevin Owens to get the 1, 2, 3. Main event, Jey Uso pinned Kevin Owens. And at the end, there was an embrace of the former tag team champions to the new tag team champions. What a moment. Um, what a moment it was. Now we know that next week on Raw, Kevin, the rematch from Fastlane, what happened? But this time, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes are the tag team champions. They're gonna set the defend against former tag team champions, the Judgment Day, and Finn Balor and Damian Priest. We'll see that match next week, but now we know they're gonna be the main event as well next week. Now we know that Cody and Jay are still the tag team champions after a long, far, hard victory. What a victory it was for them. And now they leave Raw still tag team champions. You gotta wonder, do Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, are they gonna be returning heel soon rather than later? That's the question that everyone asks about, but we'll just have to wait and see on how that's gonna go. All right. That is a Raw Ring report. Let's move over to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics, like we said, we talked you there, Jay Uso and Cody Rhodes are still the tag team champions, but everyone likes to talk about this right here. This is the moment right here. They retain their tag team titles over Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They retain their tag team titles. So it was a phenomenal match from back to back. Everyone's talking about this. This is the full segment right here. That Fastlane, the Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso can't miss WWE press conference. Like they was just joking around and skiing. So I guess they had got a moment in the sun. So we saw that. But it's on the Fastlane YouTube channel. So hey, no, there go. Well, we told you this that NBA player from the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton was in attendance at Fastlane. He wanted to see John Cena, and he did see John Cena. I think him and John Cena had a moment. John Cena and Tyrese Halliburton playing for the NBA Indiana Pacers. So how that's going, that went down. He even participated in the press conference, asked a question. It was a question, so he asked a legit question. So how that went. Speaking of that too, also too, another thing too, We know Warlow saying that he confirming that he will be in action tonight We don't know who he's going to go against, but he wants to be part of that Super Tuesday event as WWE versus AEW tonight. So we get to see that tonight on how that's going to be. Everyone, I'm going to be channel flipping back and forth. Also, too, the man, Becky Lynch. She's saying that she's going to release her autobiography book coming out this March. So next March, March 26, 2024. So Becky Lynch on the chronicle on everything she's done. So we'll see Becky Lynch release a book, but as Vince Russo said, he didn't know why she released the book so early. All right. NXT got a lot of women's champion, got a lot of big plans and stuff in store for her. And two, Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee got silently called up to the main roster. Dragon Lee is now called up to the main roster. He's on SmackDown now. So how that's gonna go. We'll see Dragon Lee stuff. Now we told you this that Seth Rollins set to defend the world title against Drew McIntyre. That will happen in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the world title. So we'll see Seth Rollins defend his title against Drew. Will Drew continue to show heel tendencies, heel signs? He's really slowing it down as he's showing it, as he is. So we'll get to see that as well. Speaking of that, tonight for NXT will have a full lineup, and what the lineup will be tonight, as you can see right here. This is all going to go down on NXT. Carmelo Hayes will take on Braun Breaker, a rematch from Stand Deliver from this past year. But Carmelo will have John Cena's corner, and Braun will have Paul Heyman's corner. Speaking of that, Undisputed Tag Team Champion Cody Rhodes will be in the house. With Cody announced, I kind of got an idea what Cody's going to say. Plus two, Roxanne Perez taking on former WWE Women's Champion Asuka. That's going to be a hellacious match. Live matches, the Brawling Brutes, 6-man tag team match. Gallows versus the Brawling Brutes. We're going to see all that match tonight. Speaking of that, Tony Khan didn't waste no time whatsoever. Tony Khan saying that he is going to make sure Title Tuesday be commercial free. I think NXT said they're going to make it commercial free. Everybody trying to compete tonight saying it's going to be commercial free. So it's going to be a commercial, 30 minutes commercial free of TV, of Dynamite and on NXT. So everybody's trying to jock in position, make it commercial free. So Tony Khan didn't waste no time whatsoever. He even didn't waste no. He wanted to be a step ahead of them. He even is going to even up the odds. And what he's going to do, he's going to do the first third. He's going to do a pre-show for Dynamite on YouTube, so folks can he can get 30 minutes head up. He's going to have Minoru Suzuki taking on Eddie Kingston on Dynamite. So it's going to be a time shift. They're going to do a 30 minutes commercial free on TBS, and then the buy-in to Dynamite. I mean, he's locking and loading. He's going to make sure he's going to get a heads up on this, and we'll see what's going to go down. But hey, like we said, we're going to see how this is going to go down. All this tonight. So look tonight for the a special edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, AEW Dynamite and NXT Ring Report. We're going to be covering all about both shows tonight. So it's just lock and load tonight and how it's going to go. All right. We're going to end that right there. We're going to end it with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defending the tag team titles over the former tag team champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So we'll see you tonight for Super Tuesday on the AEW Dynamite and NXT Ring Reports. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. Thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show.